Okay, so what's happened in the last 24 hours? I've managed to get my little fella here animated. So I've managed to work out how to flip him as well, so as he goes around the other way. Jump doesn't work yet, but because I've got to do gravity and all that. I'm rather chuffed with myself. This is a quite complicated bit to do. So how did we achieve that? So flip, not that complicated. Took a little bit of time to work out how to do it. So flip, that's set in the keyboard control. So flip, no flip. So if we're going right, we don't need to flip the image. If we're going left, we need to flip the image horizontal. And then that's enacted on in the where are we? The animation part of the. I've gone too far. I've gone right. I've swung right by it. Nope, completely lost it. What am I doing? There we go. in the anime player part. So you have to do, instead of doing render texture, you do render texture rotate, and then you just flip it. Which you use the flip for whatever way you're going with it. Quite easy to fathom out. Once I found this and what this bit did, took a little bit of time to suss that one up, but we did. Then clean up the texture afterwards. Animation has been done again by, I've set up a animated state, so we know what state it's in. There's four states, so you have idle, run, jump and death. Death obviously that's not done with movement of the keyboard. That's going to be when you get shot enough times. I have set it up so the animation works for testing. So in here, straightforward, key press, go right, set the state to 2, which is run, go left, set the state to 2, which is run, set the state, each time you set the state back to 1, which is idle. So if you're not pressing a key, the little fella stands there at idle. That's then done up here. I've added the player. He's a slightly different player now because he's in a different pack of stuff that I've got hold of, and the PNGs are literally numbered. There's no names in them because it makes it easier to find them and count. So we come into here and we count how many files are in the directory. So we set the directory path, which is done down the bottom, so as we know which one they're in, the idle, the jump, the run, etc. Find out how many files are in there. We set that file count. That then comes through into the animation part here. We load the animation with the folder path. Now the folder path is gained by whatever state we've selected. Well, then the animation type is selected to the path, added to the path, then that's the folder sent back to the load animation bit. We take the previous states as we know where we were with it. This is just some debug stuff because I did have a lot of trouble. I had a lot of trouble. More coffee than I dared to think. Got drunk trying to fathom all this out to get this working. If only I knew what I was doing, it'd be so much easier. And then the animate player, fairly simple. Reset the states for the frames. Yeah, and eventually, after a lot of head scratching, a lot of cups of coffee, I managed to get it sorted so I could work out which state the little character is in, and then he's rendered down here. Now there's a lot more to do. I had to also add at the end here, I've had to slow him down because he was going across the screen like hot snot. It was unbelievable. So I had to slow him down a bit. I'll need to do a little bit of work on perhaps smoothing it out, but first I want to see if I can make him jump. I want to see if I'm smart enough to work out how to make him so when he jumps he goes up X distance and then slowly falls back down to the same position he's in. There's no collision at the moment. The position he's in is purely set in code. So he's 15 in and 500 down. Eventually, obviously, when I put some platforms in, I'm going to have to scratch my head a bit more and work out how to do platforms. But again, this has been really interesting, very challenging this time. This wasn't an easy one. Been really interesting. Spent far too much time indoors instead of out in the garden tidying up the garden. But again, I've thoroughly enjoyed doing it. It's a really good. It's turning out to be a really good hobby, and it's keeping me out of mischief. Anyhow, there we go. It's all in basically under 200 lines of code. Thanks for watching if you did.